Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, today with really amazing Golgari deck. This deck is not only amazing, not only very strong it seems, but also is using quite cool cards because we have Toxrill, Junji, and you will see those cards in the games, how good they were. Especially Toxrill. Man, you need to see the Slug game, it was something else. Okay, about the stats. Easy, 100% win rate on the play, on the draw. That was only 4 games, of course, but let me tell you this, that felt very strong, and it wasn't very close in many of the games. Like, it was feeling like one-sided, and it was feeling that we won at our half pace, and we still had like the backup full game plan after we already won. So it felt like we're, not throwing all the punches, and we won already. So yeah, I really like the decks that have this feeling, and we had plenty of them before, and this one is the next in line. So we went up 400 places in Mythic, and this is interesting because those games were pretty high Mythic, like top 600 even. So it seems that the deck is really legit, and I really feel like it because when you go into the deck list in a second with me, you will see exactly where the power comes from, and I think that it's a lot of mono black control, but I think the cards are designed to make it even better because it's building on the same synergy, just better. So I honestly really love the deck. I think it's one of my favorite Golgari builds, and with every game that I have played, I liked it more and more. Not only for the results, but they are definitely nice, and I did not expect such a good matchups. So let's delve into the deck list and see what's exactly up. Okay, and now we are in the deck list, and I'm so excited to share this deck with you guys. It's awesome. I had so much fun playing with this. Like, it seems that one Toxrill doesn't make a difference and one Junji don't make a difference. Believe me, they do, and you will have plenty of fun with those good cards. That it's not easy to make a good share for those cards. So without further ado, let's go into the idea behind the deck. As you can see, we have Eyetwitch's Ghast, Deadly Dispute. So we have this early game mono black control package, and I like it. I honestly really like this kind of decks because I think this makes your early game really healthy because you can draw lands if you whiff. You can make blockers if you are attacked. You can make removal or tokens or mascot exhibition at the end game if you draw it, as your 20 turn draw. So I really like this package because I think it just makes every deck a bit better. What more? We have, of course, like the standard sweeper, invoke despairs, not exciting at all. But we have Golgari, and actually Golgari is a splash here. It's basically more of a mono black, but we have some key cards because Binding of the Old Gods. Oh man, this is such a great card. So we really want this, especially that you have so much ways to use your mana. If Invoke Despair, like with Invoke Despair, Blood on the Snow, if you can cast Blood on the Snow and Invoke Despair in one turn, man, imagine the swing. So you really benefit from every chapter. Even like the Death Touch, actually you have so many small creatures that Death Touch will make a difference as well. So you are getting the full potential here. And Gloom Shrieker, this is the main card that we splashed Golgari for. And it seems like only 3 copies, but believe me, this is actually a very big card. So, 3 mana to 1 menace. When enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. However, if this would die, exile it instead, so we cannot just chain multiple Gloom Shriekers one after another with Blood on the Snow and things like this. So that's okay. But the fact that you can get a permanent, and guess what the permanent will be? Sorin, Lolth, Junji, and Toxrill. Those will be the main ones you want. So basically it acts like a mini Blood on the Snow because like you get the biggest threat that you had during the game back into your hand. So you still need to play it, so you still need a lot of mana, so that's why the binding as well. And also we have Celestus, because this really helps us, it ramps us into all of the 5 drops, and we have quite a lot of them. It really helps with the Toxrill, like 7 turn Toxrill and 6 turn Toxrill is a big difference. It also makes sure that, like with Gloom, Shrieker and Blood on the Snow, you are not scared to play those big one-offs, because if they die, you just get them back and you are actually happy that enemy needed 3 removal spells damage base to get rid of this. So yeah, and usually they wasted other removal for the Sorin tokens, Lolth tokens, Junji, things like this. So for this reason you can actually play more aggressively with your big spells because you will just get them back. So you have 1 Toxrill, but in this deck you have 6 Toxrills because you can take it back 3 times with the Gloomshrieker and 2 times with the Blood on the Snow. And believe me, having 6 Toxrills in the deck probably will make a big difference for any aggro deck if you can get to this point. And you will, because you have ramp, you have early game blockers, you have sweepers, you have double ramp. Basically we have like 6 ramp spells, so we can actually cast Toxrill pretty quickly with this deck. So even though it seems that the most of the deck is similar to Mono Black, this plays much differently because of the Gloomshrieker and Binding. And man, Toxrill, like, watch the Slugmaster game. This is insane. I love it so much. The idea that all of enemy creatures are melting into our creepy slugs that have a skull in their belly is just so ridiculous. I love it. And this is such a strong card. If enemy cannot answer it, they cannot win with creature-based decks. That's it. They just cannot win. And the fact that you make the slugs and they can block everything means that you will never run out of blockers because enemy is melting faster than they can attack you. So yeah, that's the deck. I really like it for my impressions. I think this is one of the best Golgari builds. I had so much success with it and the games were powerful, fun, and man, I like Golgari. It's just so fun. We also showcased different build of Golgari and I think that one is also extremely powerful, a bit different than this. But there we cannot play Toxrill, we cannot play Junji, and I love those cards and I want to play them more, so I would probably choose this one just for the fun of it. And it's always good to have fun while also being competitive and not losing every game. And I know that every brewer knows the pain, so I really like that this deck combines both of the best worlds. So I think that's it for the deck. Is there something I forgot? I don't think so. More or less that's it. Remember to play your Snowlands first, because then you ramp into Blood on the Snow and you need at least 5. Oh, Junji. I knew I forgot about something. You will see in one of the games how pain Junji can be. I think this is a very important lesson for the card, because while it's amazing in some situations, against some decks you need to play very differently. And Deadly Dispute is actually really important with Junji, because you sometimes have to force the sacrifice, especially if enemy has Vanishing Verse or the Fading Hope or something like this. You basically want to cast it for 7 mana with the protection of Deadly Dispute, and this is very good combination because it's not part of the effect. Deadly Dispute has a cost of sacrificing creatures, so it means that basically this cannot be killed with enemy spell, because you will always instant sacrifice it. So that's really important because it has no answers. It's very similar to the Cat Owen. That was the problem with the Owen, right? Because you cannot really answer it, because they can switch into like trigger places between the stack and the graveyard and things like this. We have very similar mechanic here. So really something important. And this is the reason why we have Junji in this deck, because here it actually works, because you can safeguard it with Deadly Dispute. You will see in one of the games and you will see exactly how much of a difference it makes in total. So that was the last word. As always, if you like those amazing decks, if you think the channel is cool and you like it and you want it to grow, the way you can do it is by subscribing, and I really do appreciate it. And few words to everyone watching until now. I'm really thankful for this. It's so nice that you guys care and you actually follow up with all my rambling and all my decks. And even if the decks aren't like tier 1 meta 100% win rate, you still care for it. I really do appreciate it, and you have special place in my heart, so thank you for that. And yeah, I think the games will be amazing and I'm pretty sure we will enjoy them quite a lot. So let's go into the games, and yeah, happy to share the deck with you. Okay, I would really like an Eyetwitch instead of Despair, but you know what? Let's not be picky. We need to accept and be happy with what we got. And we got the dog, the wolf, the wolfie. We will call you Wolfie. You are Wolfie from now on. Let's go with the Tapland, because then we don't need to make any decisions, but honestly it doesn't really matter. We could just cast those two, and this as a third one. And yeah, let's go for more black, because we want Despair. We might keep drawing black lands, so we want to Despair on 5. If we cast too many forests, then we might not. The fact that we don't have anything to Deadly Dispute hurts a bit, because we could ramp into turn 3, basically Despair. Enemy would have 3 mana when we cast Despair, and that's so huge. But we will get there. Or it's pretty good overall. I mean, the fact that we can cast Celestus and possibly invoke Despair next turn, his 3-drop, is already huge. Like, it's so huge. And this is why the Celestus in this deck is so decent. Oh man, you think you have a creature on the board. And always against Despair, remember folks, remember, this card has 1 green mana to become a creature. So if they have Forest untapped, they can just pay 1 and make, okay, they need 2, because they need to make it 1/1 at least. So yeah, then they can sacrifice the lair instead of the creature that you wanted to kill, so don't get outplayed like this. And let's do our thing with, you know, drawing cards and killing creatures. Let's be honest, Despair usually... Oh, man, I feel that the game is really close to over right now. If enemy plays 1 big creature... Oh man, that's the last creature I wanted to see, really. That's so mean. Do we actually invoke Despair this? Or we Meathook, because we won't find anything but I think Meathook will be important. You know what? He will sacrifice the bigger creature. Unless he wants to have less cards. Yep, so he basically... Oh, I forgot this is enchantment. Okay, that was actually pretty good for him, I'm not gonna lie. Let's play the Tapland first and then Field of Ruin. So maybe not my best play in the life. I kinda wasted in our second Invoke Despair. I didn't remember that the dog is also an enchantment, so they can decide how to use it. I think we are still in a good situation, but that definitely wasn't a great play. Circuit Mender. So basically my plan here is to bait as many freaking creatures as possible. Oh, that's a slug. You've been slugged, my friend. And we will very quickly have slugs. Oh man, this card is hilarious, especially with the ramp from... Man, Celestus is such a good card. I want to put this in every control deck I have. Like, literally, it's such a good card. Oh, he needs to kill it. He actually needs to kill it. What more, everything with the slug counter dies, right? Man, I'm not sure about this interaction. I'm nearly sure. Because this is end step. It means that it is during your turn, so the minus from Meathook is still in the play, I think. So we can -4. Then this will be 1/1, and then we will get our stuff, because we need counters to make it slugs, and I do want my slugs. Is this a Ganjo? Oh, he wants the card. Sure. Enjoy your no cards, my friend. I will take this humiliating 2 damage to prevent you from 1 card. That's the problem with this card, you need to kill it yourself. Oh, here comes the slug army. Man, this is amazing. Like, I have never thought this deck would be so crazy fun to play. Oh man, I'm having so much fun right now. Okay, everything has slug counters. If we attack, he will trade the shield counter, right? So we probably want to sacrifice a slug And it's not mana efficient, but we have Gloomshaker, so if they kill Toxrill, we can get it back. So we probably should still do it. Okay, so... Oh, right. We can sacrifice it once. And we will. Right? We have exact... No. Then we cannot Meathook. My bad. I forgot we don't have a land drop. So we might not hit it, so let's not risk it. I will do it like this. And I want my armor of slugs, please. My armor, please. And you will get your card, so you should be happy. Yep, yeah. What's up? Oh, can you feel the slug power incoming? And I like Toxrill so much right now. Best card ever. Can you ever think that a 7/7 would be good? I would definitely not. Let's make the Shambling Ghast. He's not a slug, so, you know, he's inferior to the rest of the board. And he doesn't have a skull in his belly. And we attack right now, even though the creature is smaller, because I'm pretty sure he would block with the Warden. He can spare one shield counter, probably wouldn't spare the second one, so we wouldn't get any damage at all. So, what's about my slug army? Toxrill, the game maker of card meta. Man, this deck is freaking amazing. I love it. And I really like Golgari recently. It's such a good color combination. And I had no chance, like, against the Slugmaster. Oh man, this is first hand I'm not really sure of. It can go so wrong. And I mean so freaking wrong. Oh man. Like, we can get environmental signs, but we still need to draw 1 and 2 lands then. You know what, I will take it because of the Eyetwitch, but it's borderline mulligan. And it is possible I will lose this game because of not taking the mulligan. We need to hit like 2 lands from the top and then we are okay. If we don't, we are screwed. Because we cannot even Meathook our own Eyetwitch. Oh man, and we are not against creature deck, so Eyetwitch won't die. This is so bad. Man, I'm considering killing my own Eyetwitch with Infernal Grasp, because if we whiff on the land, this is basically over. And they don't need to kill it, it's 1 damage a turn, like, they don't care. No man, this is so bad. Do we actually do it? I think we should. Oh man, this is quickly turning it into a disaster. I hate it. That was the most hated play of my life. But I still think that's the correct one. Of course, we drew a land. But we have capacity, so let's do it right now. Let's play this one, so the enemy thinks that we are still desperate and that was the only land we have. So it might change his play, because then he needs to go aggressive before we can fix our stuff. And he doesn't. We do it like this, because then we can turn Field of Ruin into black land. That means that next turn we can invoke Despair. Oh, that's a very good target, my friend. I do appreciate it. If he ramps, that's fine. I want him to tap out and play something, so then we can use Invoke Despairs to get back into this freaking game. I feel that we are so on the back foot. So I'm not really sure if that was correct call. He still has 4 mana, so he could do it later. He didn't even... yeah, like, he has 1 mana more, so he needs a 3 mana spell to make it work. More or less. Let's go for Swamp, of course. So I think that is kind of trap, right? You want to do it, but it's not really good. See? And now he cannot count. Okay, he doesn't have counters if he didn't. But you know, by the way, we didn't draw a single land in those 3 cards. And now things look much better for us. So I think that was a bit of a misplay. I would be scared to play the Despair into open mana. But to be fair, it seems he doesn't have counterspell because he had 3 open mana. So unless it's like some crazy 4 mana counter spell, he doesn't have them. What is his hand? It seems really terrible. We could go for Celestus and Shambling Ghast. But if he doesn't have a counter spell, he might have drawn one, but that's the risk we need to take. Let's go with the spiders. Lolth is pretty much dead, for sure. They always have burn spells and they weren't forced to use a single burn spell this game, so Lolth is just so dead, probably spiders as well, but we will get some cards out of this, hopefully. Man, I'm getting scared. What is the payoff? They have green. Oh, is this research body combo? And Kazam's Fury or something? So they will one turn kill us? I think that might be it. Not sure why. Yeah, maybe. Yep. But at least we force them to do something and we can start using Blood on the Snow to get things back. You know, we need to grind them somehow, but look at this. We already have 7 cards and enemy has 6. And you know what? That's actually a really good draw. This is... No, please don't counter it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. So we do this in that order, in case he has Juari. So you want this to not get countered and not this to not get countered. So the ordering is actually important. Like it's obvious he won't counter it, so we won't get bait any counter spell from him. But you at least, you know, force Juari, and as it was discussed lately, the Juari came back to ladder somehow. But today I don't see any Juari again, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe there was some popular video and everyone started using it. I personally love Juari, I think it's a great card. Huh. That's weird. So, let's play our Swampy Swamp. Probably activating Hive wouldn't be the most bad idea. But I expect the enemy to do something, because 6 damage is a lot. And it means that we might hit Invoke Despair after he taps out. He really doesn't seem to be having counter spells. But he has 7 cards, man. He has something. It can be Invoke. Oh yeah, that 1 damage, that was the issue. I don't know what we are playing against. I know it's Izzet, and I know half of his deck because so this is a combo. So he will kill us next turn probably. That's not great. Oh, that's so bad for us. That's the worst. That is the worst. He needs 3 green. He actually needs 3 green, and we can kill only 1 of the treasure tokens. So it means that he will have, because the spell he wants to cast is 3 blue, 3 green. And yeah, I think that's it. He has 37, 37, and then he sacrifices it to Kazul's Fury and he kills us. I don't think we have much counterplay. We can kill 1 of the treasures, but not the second one. And we cannot prevent the 3 green mana. Is it Invoke Despair for something? Not, I have no idea for what. We could also Celestus into Dragon. And you know what? I think in this case we won't get better than this. If enemy has combo next turn, he will kill us. Yeah, and they usually run the 5 mana Invoke, the red one, Invoke Calamity, but they don't have the card in the graveyard, so there's that. Yeah, they can do it as an instant. I don't think we can prevent it in any way, really. We need to go with the dragon. It sucks. I'm doing it right now, because then we can use the burst from attack, Hive, and possibly the spell at once. Yeah, if we draw a land, we have enough for everything, so we can deal potentially like 14 damage and kill him. If we cast Invoke Despair, we wouldn't be able to. Also, if he gets rid of the dragon, it might hurt his hand, and we can get it back, but frankly, I think we are dead. Against this deck, all you need is one test of talent, and basically they are dead. Yeah, and 4 removal spells to counter the hard cast of the... How is it called, man? Nature Research? I don't know, something like this. I don't think it's a good deck, honestly. Like, it's fun, sure, but it's a bad deck. Huh. This 1 damage should not matter, and we won't have time to cast it anyway. Yep, we have exactly 5 mana. So, you know, we need to go super ham. And we need to freaking kill. It should be the Celestus. If he targets and kills Celestus right now, we are not a happy person. First of all, let's see what's up. He might use Invoke Calamity to create this 34 creature and block the Hive. No, he cannot block any of them. They both have menace. We exile this. This actually matters because Invoke Calamity can cast spells from the graveyard. So we removed half of his combo. He needs to have both of them in the 5 cards in the hand. He has so much green. Okay, he still keeps digging, but the problem for I think we won. Oh, okay, I thought that the priority wasn't here and he has no instance. He needs to do it now. I hate you so freaking much. Stop it. Just stop it. Oh man. Just please make it stop. Maybe at this point I'm thinking maybe you should binding our own dragon. I don't know. That's the problem with Junji, right? If they bounce it, you are just a sad person. We could invoke. How many invokes? No, that's the second one. So we aren't likely to finish the game right now. It has to be this. Junji, the dragon that always returns and never deals damage. Oh man, Junji, this is supposed to be your showcase. You need to show the player base how great of a card you are, and instead you are just fading our hope over and over. Problem is, if they don't draw into combo, they will draw into this kind of cards. Yes, finally. Untapped land, please. Okay, same plan, nothing is changing, we are just switching treasures into lands and that's it. If we are fading hope again, Junji, you are going into Hall of Shame. Okay, those matters, those choices matters. So he can use it for 6 mana, right, in total. So if he researches the body, then he has nothing left. I actually think Fading Hopes, because he might supplement his 4-drop with this. And this is the best answer to Junji. So if next turn we will be able to exile both of them, so maybe for the rest of the game it might matter. Oh no, he has it. But he's forced to use it. Let's see for what. I think it has to be Fading Hope and Windfall. See? That's exactly what we wanted to prevent. But he already has both of them. Okay. So he will keep digging, but we attack him every single turn, and we, like the Junji, the dragon that will always return every turn and never deal any point of damage. Man, maybe we should just kill it. Problem is, if you want to kill it, enemy will bounce it, so you basically waste the binding and cannot replay Junji, so attacking has like basically the same effect. Yeah, we are also casting 1 spell a turn. Good thing is that we force him to use the win condition to defend. But he has 4 of them. No! No, Junji! So for everyone that is liking this dragon. Okay. Freaking finally. Okay, this is actually good. Junji, please. You know what? If we do it like now, enemy has one card and he needs way more to do the combo, so then he needs to top deck. And this is a freaking cost. A freaking cost. You cannot answer to this. Please, please, let's get it over with. Like, we really need to wrap it up, bro. I will kill him myself. Okay, so he had to discard part of his combo. Probably this is Research the Body. This is the only card that really makes sense. No reason to destroy the treasures. They are not relevant, but the Eyetwitch is relevant. And card cycling is definitely relevant. Invoke Despair, I think it's binding. There will be nothing on board, ever, in this matchup. But right now, good game. So I think still, Junji, even though he's certainly going to Hall of Shame after this game, I think he actually won us the game. Because I think that it forced enemy to top deck the answer from the top of his deck right now, because he needs at least 2 cards. He needs the Kazur's Fury and Research the Body and 3 green mana, 3 blue mana. So yeah, if he had the combo, he just broke it and he didn't draw the missing part. So that was thanks to Junji. But you can clearly see why you need sacrifice effect with this card, because if you don't have it, like, enemy can just bounce it forever. Of course, it was one of the decks that has this strategy, but you can clearly see the problem and how to answer it. Deadly Dispute was game winner here. Alright, so we are going first with very good removal, Celestus and Eyetwitch. Man, I do not mind this hand. It's pretty good. So, let's think. Do we go for the Eyetwitch first? Because we need to whiff on one of the turns. Yeah, I think turn 3 is where we whiff. So let's start with this, because we need this sweet damage. You know what, when Invoke Despair comes, maybe that will matter. You cannot block the flying. Easy. We could destroy the enemy ramp. We can kill it, and then he has no ramp. But honestly, I think it's better to just kill the creature that comes after it. That was a big decision, because this will change the game for the rest of the game. Okay, whenever land enters the battlefield, gain life, additional land, whatever, and this land becomes creature, haste. I'm not sure if we want to kill this. Like, this is obviously a landfall deck and he doesn't want to get it. You know what? Let's freaking do it. I'm scared. I'm just legitimately scared right now. What will he do with all of this? And I don't want to give him ramp for free. Okay, so this is Celestus. Because we want to have the additional mana. And instead of enemy ramping, we are ramping. However, we are at card disadvantage. But I think at some point we will get there. Yep, enjoy your 1 life. Sure. Treasure? Treasure. Okay, so we don't cast anything and we Deadly Dispute, right? It has to enter the battlefield. Yeah, so we can answer it very easily. Let's get rid of this land finally. Oh no! My little winged friend. You definitely won't. Take action. I have enough green. I don't want the tap land. It's a snow one, so not the worst, but it's a tap land. So nice, we already drew a 1 extra card basically. Scary, okay. Okay, so enemy will sacrifice this and put a creature and then play land. So he has 3 in total. You know what, let's see. He will keep making treasures. I wonder what the payoff is. Is the druid class the payoff? Man, I'm so confused. You know what? I will freaking do this. Because he expects 2 lands, he cannot play land in response. It means that he wanted to have 2 additional mana. I think he didn't play land this turn. So he expected 2 extra mana, and right now we basically cut his turn in half, and he cannot even attack, really. Let's do it. We don't have many plays, we need cards. And this won't trade ever. Containment Breach seems nice. We also get the token, right? So honestly, sure. And let's draw some cards. Pretty crazy. And of course we can do all of this in 1 turn, because we are a very good player. Okay. We have enough, right? 1 green. And we also double cast spells, so we cycle with Celestus. Let's draw some cards. Of course, the first big card that we drew this game is from Sorin. You know what? I don't care. I will take 5. I will take 5, but I'm not entertained. And that's a pretty perfect response. If I may say so myself, we also get the blocker to protect Sorin. We cycle. Man, this deck does everything. And as always, the tap land, because we don't want to... like, if we had tap land this turn, we wouldn't be able to make this play, so that's huge. Right, doggy? Doggy? Oh, he's such a good boy. We are doing some stuff. 2 basic land cards. If it was kicked, put 2 counters on each creature. Oh, I see! So that's the payoff. But you still cannot kill Sorin, and believe me, Sorin will take over this game very quickly. I want my card. Very good card. One of the best, honestly. Permanent. We have some of them, but we will get better ones. Let's start with the Lolth. I heard it's a good card. Especially if enemy has 1 creature on the board. And let's play the black one, it does not matter. Man, like, this deck is freaking crazy. Like, look at how much value we have, on top of being able to do everything. At the beginning of combat, +1/+1 trample does not matter. He has 1 mana. Target land gets give 3 mana, draw a card if you control, sure. It's strong, don't get me wrong, it's strong. But I hope with double Planewalker and Celestus we can overcome it. Trample? Okay, so he wants to make a double play. That's fine. No attacks. Broken Wings. You know what? I will definitely sacrifice an artifact to get my treasure and cards. Oh man. Oh, it's so brutal. Will he scoop? The question of the day. Will he scoop? I think he will. Like, it's over. And this draw was just a, you know, Mortal Kombat finish him. Oh man, look at this stuff. I will keep drawing cards. Of course, second highest cost in the game. I'm doing it, I don't care. If the deck won't cooperate, I will do it myself. Probably we should be a bit careful. I don't know if he has haster, he definitely has, but we have 1 blocker. Because we might die because of Sorin and 11 damage for literally 2 cards. 2 cards, deal 11 damage. By the way, those were basically the only high cost cards that we drew this game, except 1 Despair. No, Despair was from our draw, I think. I'm not sure, whatever. Let's play the land. Do we Meathook? I honestly think we Meathook. So let's attack first. Because I want Meathook in the field to gain some life. And you know what happens when we Meathook for 1, right? Good things will happen. We will use Lolth, because she will have 4 counters, and we will make new spiders, then we can use Sorin and make vampire, and the board after sweeping has 3 creatures. Man, that wasn't even close, like, we dominated this guy so freaking hard, and this druid class lesson thing was really big play. What? What the hell is this draw? Sure, I will freaking take it. But it's super weird. I like the fact that we can double ramp into Sorin and get back Sorin with Blood on the Snow combined with a Sweeper, so there is a word that this play is enough. Do we want to... I want Shambling Ghast since, like, this is probably some creature, like haste creature, so we prevent damage and stuff. Oh man, I will take one of them. For the next turn it's Ghast and Chasm, most likely. Because later we don't want tap land, we want to get rid of them as soon as possible. Because like if you tap land on the Blood on the Snow turn, you ain't happy. Sorin, our star, this card needs to go here and keep drawing cards until we end the game. Smork. What is this with these colors? Like, we are fighting these, it's over and over. Okay, this is definitely this one. And I will use the Ghast because it ramps better. And in case enemy has Spike Field Hazard, I want this to be Spike Field and not this, because this gives us card advantage, this gives us 1 mana and nothing more. Oh man, do we actually go full aggro? I think we do. We keep drawing 1-drops and we need to kill the enemy with our 1-drops. This is legit strategy. I think I won't cast more. This will have 5 loyalty, so if enemy has burned down the house, that's perfect answer for everything, and if you are playing Gazette, you run, burn down the house, because it's the best card. So I don't think we play the second one. I think we'll leave something for future. Like, this is flexible, this will be useful, and this probably trades for single card. So I'm not the most happy person. It doesn't seem to be an aggro. So Goldspan Dragon possibly. So for this reason we will attack like this. In case it's Goldspan Dragon. Because he will kill our Sorin so good. Counterspell? Juwari? Is the Juwari meta on? If he has counter, we will see it. If Sorin comes into play, it means he has exactly 0 counterspells in the hand. They usually don't run too many counterspells, usually it's more of a removal based. See? Easy. And you want to +1. If you -2, Sorin dies so quickly, it's not even funny. 5 loyalty? That's a lot of damage to deal, especially if you have a blocker. They need to remove the blocker, play Goldspan, attack this, and then use the treasure to kill the remaining 1 loyalty. So that's their perfect answer. See? Sorin would be already dead if we did the vampire thing. Unfortunately, we are probably still dead, but we traded for a very big amount of cards. He needs this, he needs another, and we drew a card. So basically 3 for 1. And you can see it in the hand right now. Yeah, exactly, burn down the house as expected. But we have Blood on the Snow, and that's a big thing. Treasure, treasure. Learn. Okay, this is very important. I think it's Confront the Past. Because then we don't need to cast Blood on the Snow at all. And that's so freaking good. And you know what? Sorin, as expected, he needs to carry us. See, I told you, he's here, drawing cards. Over and over. Reveal, and we will keep getting Sorin back. And we will pay the treasure to make a Goldspan blocker. I don't know if they play it, but generally, like, Izzet deck is about having Goldspan. So we know, there's a low chance that you don't play the best card in the whole color combination they have. And then, if we can block, it makes it so over. See, they play Goldspan because they have Dragonfire. And look how much removal they need to use. That's so mean. Why? Why did you have to do it? This really hurts. We don't have good targets anymore. Oh man. That's so bad. Do we just go for the Smork? Those cards don't really do anything. We can do this into Eyetwitch, into... Man, we actually take the Eyetwitch with this. This is ridiculous, but if the Eyetwitches die, we get so much value. So, you know, I'm happy. Deadly Eyetwitch for the rescue. You have no chance, my friend. You are already at 14. Like losing 1 HP a turn, so only 15 turns ahead of you. But jokes aside, at least we have the chance to pressure enemy, so he need, like against this board he kinda needs a sweeper, right? And if he sweeps, we get a lot of extra value. We might activate the Hive. We have enough lands to, you know, risk losing 1. Yeah, that's our basically only play. Invoke is scary because he can sweep during, like, at instant speed, so that's the only problem. But if he goes for the card by card removal, we are really happy about this one. You know, finding hope, sure. You traded cards for nothing, for 1 turn, basically. So while it helps him this turn, what exactly... yeah, you just have 2 cards. Like, basically we are outvaluing him right now, which is pretty huge. And we still deal 4 damage, so he still needs to answer this. Like, Hive was the cherry on the cake, basically. So, we have options, and I know which one I will take, but I will explain. So, he can double block this, because this has menace. We remove 1 of them, but then he trades. However, if we do it right now, then he has 1 creature, and he cannot block anything. And we have Gloomshrieker, and he got dealt 4 damage. So he basically has a 3-time... Man, I'm not sure if we played the land. I think we didn't miss it, but now I'm hesitant. I think we played Field of Ruin, and this we couldn't play, but I'm not sure. I hope we didn't miss this, because that's a big deal. However, enemy is only having those two cards in the hand, and they need to answer somehow. So, we don't care. 1 creature. He might have another Sokenzan, but then okay, you just trade 2 for 1. Okay, like 2 creatures for 1, 1 card for card, whatever. You get the idea. Cinderclasm. Okay, that's interesting. I think it's without the kicker, right? That's a good answer. But we still get this stuff. And this is why, my friends, we have double mascot exhibition. What about those creatures, my friend? I'm pretty sure he preferred the previous ones. Man, Eyetwitch. Eyetwitch, the best card in the meta. Your 8-drop. Or 1-drop, depending on what you need. That's an insanely good draw. I think he top-decked it, because he didn't cast it before. Like, this is main phase, so he just drew it from the top, and that's, I think, the best draw in his deck. Especially with the treasure, so he can still play around and make a sweeper or something, but problem is, he needs to play it. He has only 4 mana, but I will go with the mascot exhibition. I think it's what, 7? 9? We actually threaten Lethal. He cannot sweep at instant speed. Like, even with Invoke, he doesn't have the correct mana. So if he wants to kill the Hive, then he doesn't kill another creature, and our board stays. I just want to make it as awkward as possible, sure. Do we go for the mana? I don't think there's any point. Yeah, normal basics. And this is combat phase already, so we cannot cast the Ghast. But that's the problem. So, okay, you are at 1. Do we get the Shambling Ghast? What are his answers? Cinderclasm, right? But the skills everything except this. I think we keep up the Ghast. It doesn't change anything in this situation. Man, enemy is in such a pickle. Expressive Iteration. That's actually a really good draw as well. It might be from memory, the Rouge, but yeah. He just couldn't, and we had another mascot exhibition, Blood on the Snow, on the back of our place, toolbox, should I say. This, by the way, was so devastating. The game would be so much easier if he didn't exile it, because we had Blood on the Snow and we would just keep drawing cards, so that was already a very good scenario for him. And still, he was just out of cards. And this is the problem with Fading Hope. Sure, you got one turn, but then you lose because you directly don't have the answer anymore. By the way, it's better to Fading Hope tokens, because then you don't really lose the card at least. So yeah.